the silence, not the quiet of a room, not the stillness of a sleeping world. This is different. It creeps into your chest first, heavy, patient, waiting. It settles there, and suddenly you realize you're not breathing the same. The air itself is thinner now. The space between your thoughts stretches and twists. The crown is gone. You can feel the empty space where it used to sit, where it used to weigh you down. Not with authority, not with power, but with expectation, with pretense. You wore it for so long that the skin beneath it forgot what freedom felt like. And now it's gone. Do you feel it? The subtle trembling in your hands, the hollow pull in your chest. That is the hour that no one warned you about, the hour that exists after the fall, when the world isn't screaming, but neither is your heart. It just waits. And in this waiting, you see them. The shadows of who you were. The echoes of everything you tried to hide. Every mask you ever tried to wear. They are here, and they are patient. They do not speak. They do not threaten. They merely exist like a faint hum in the corners of your mind. I could tell you that this hour is yours alone. That is punishment. That is peace. And all of it would be true, because the hollow hour, it is every possibility at once. The hour that shows you what you refuse to see. A bell that rings for no one. A clock that ticks for no one but you. Do you remember the crown? The way it gleamed, the way it burned against your skin. It is not lost. It is transformed. It becomes this silence, this emptiness, this waiting. And as much as you want to fight it, as much as you want to leave, you cannot. Not yet. And so you sit here in this hollow, in this hour, and you feel the first whisper. It is soft, like the first prayer you almost forgot how to say. Do you see yourself, it asks? And you do. Not the self you showed the world. Not the self that wore the crown. The self that trembled under it. The self that hoped no one noticed the cracks. The self that survived. That is the secret of this hour. It is not meant to punish. It is not meant to destroy. It is meant to teach you how to breathe again. Do you feel the faith yet? Not the loud kind, not the banners and the bells and the sermons. The quiet kind. The kind that whispers in your chest when you think no one is listening. The one that reminds you, even in darkness, even in silence, you are not alone. This hour stretches on, longer than it should. Time bends here. Seconds swell into minutes, minutes into eternity, and the longer you sit, the more you hear. Not voices, not screams, but truths. You cannot escape them. You cannot ignore them. And you should not. Because here, in this hollow, you are ready to see what comes next. Do you feel it? The emptiness pressing against your chest. Not heavy exactly, not dense, but patient, persistent, relentless. It is the weight of everything you never said, everything you never did, everything you hid behind smiles and crowns. It coils around your spine, a serpent of memory and regret. Every choice you thought was small, every glance you didn't return, every word left unsaid, they gather here. And now they have weight. You try to move your arms, your legs. They feel heavier. Not because they are, but because your mind insists that they are. The hollow hour does that. It does not push. It does not pull. It simply is. And you must bend to it. Do you remember the faces? Not the ones in the light. Not the ones who applauded, who cheered, who believed. The faces in the shadow. The ones you avoided. The ones who saw you when you didn't see them back. They are here, patient, waiting, silent. You thought emptiness was a void, a blank space to fill. But emptiness is different. It is a weight, a pressure, a silence that speaks louder than noises ever could. And yet here, in this presence, in this pressure, in this heaviness, there is something else. A pulse, faint, slow, persistent. Not yours, not yet, but close. It is the heartbeat of what remains. The part of you that refused to break, that refused to leave, that stayed, even when you wanted to vanish. Do you hear it? That tiny rhythm. It whispers, you are not done. You wanted to escape. You wanted to run. You wanted to forget. But the hollow hour does not allow escape. It strips the world away, strips the noise, strips the crown, the mask, the expectations, and leaves you with you. And what do you see? Not glory, not triumph, not shame, but truth. The self that trembles, the self that fears, the self that dreams in the darkness and prays in silence. Do you feel guilt? Do you feel fear? Good. Let them sit. Let them stretch. Let them breathe with you. For in the hollow hour, you cannot run from yourself. You can only meet yourself. And in meeting yourself, you find the first spark of something dangerous and beautiful. Understanding. The weight of emptiness is a teacher. It shows you what you avoided, what you hurt, what you hid, what you denied. It does not forgive, but it does not condemn. It simply holds up the mirror and waits for you to look. And when you do, when your eyes finally meet your own, you may not like what you see. And yet, you cannot look away. Because here in this hollow, there is a promise. A promise that after weight comes movement. After silence comes breath. After emptiness comes something you've long forgotten. Possibility. And so you sit and you breathe and you feel the weight. Not as punishment, not as doom, but as a reckoning. A reckoning that will leave you raw but alive. Because the hollow hour is not the end. It is the threshold, the pause, the birth before something begins. And now, the shadows begin to stir. The hollow hour stretches into corners you didn't know existed. Walls you thought were dissolved were solid, dissolving the mist. Flowers you thought were safe crumbled into echoes. You hear them whispering, not names, not words, but truths. Every fear you buried, every doubt you masked, every shame you locked away. They creep. They creep here, patient, silent, but palpable. They watch you. They follow you. They wait for the moment you falter. Do not flinch. Do not look away. The shadows are not your enemies. They are parts of yourself you refuse to see. They are mirrors, only darker, only quieter, only more honest. And when you stare into them long enough, you notice they're listening too, waiting for you to speak, waiting for you to confront the self you ran from. Can you face them? Can you speak the truth in the silence? Can you name the fear, the doubt, the pain, and not recoil? Good, then begin. This hour, it will not forgive. It will not protect you. It will not let you run. But it will teach you. It will force you to breathe. It will strip you bare until only what matters remains. And in that emptiness, that hollow, that silence, you may finally hear the thing that you've been waiting for all your life. Your own heartbeat, your own breath, your own voice. And it will say, I am still here. I am still me. I am still alive. But the hollow hour is not the end. It's the beginning of everything you were too afraid to face. The crown is gone, but you remain. And that is enough. And now the hollow begins to change. The shadows recede, not with fear, but with recognition. They do not vanish. They do not surrender. They bow silently to the part of you that has endured, to the part of you that has faced the crownless void, the weight, the whispers, the silence, and remained. Do you feel it? That stiff in the air, a tremor, subtle like the first heartbeat after stillness. The hollow is no longer just empty. It is awake and is waiting to rise with you. Look around. Every shadow, every echo, every weight you bore, they have transformed. Not erased, not forgiven, but reshaped. They are the scaffolding of who you are becoming. The remnants of fear are now guides. The remnants of doubt are now markers. Everything that pressed you down is now holding you up. Do you hear the whispers again? This time they are soft. Yes, but not accusing, not judging. They speak of potential, of power, of endurance. They murmur, you survived, you are alive, you can rise. Rise, and you do. Not in a sudden motion, not in a triumphal leaps. You rise slowly, like the first light creeping over a dark horizon. The breath returns to its rhythm. The heartbeat steadies. The hollow hour no longer constricts. It expands. It stretches into infinity, a canvas upon which you may finally step. Do you remember the crown? it is gone, and yet it is everywhere. It is not on your head. It is in your chest. It is the courage to face yourself, and the honesty to name your fear, and the silence that taught you how to listen. It is the hollow that became your crucible, your forge, your awakening. Do you feel the air now? How it fills your lungs differently? How each inhale carries the weight of all you endure, and each exhale releases what no longer serves you. The hollow has taught you how to breathe, how to see, how to stand, how to be. The shadows, once patient, now dance. They swirl around you, not to torment, but to celebrate. Each step you take echoes in the hollows and ridges of your mind. Each breath you take sings in the silence you once feared. You are no longer lost. You are no longer fractured. You are present, whole, imperfectly perfect. It is now the place from which you rise and the place from which you move forward. Do you feel it? The pulse beneath your skin, the fire in your chest, the quiet knowledge that you are enough. It is not loud, it is not flamboyant, but it does not demand attention. It simply is. And that is all it needs to be. Look ahead. The crown is gone. The silence is no longer heavy. The shadows have taught you the secrets. The hollow has shown you your strength. The hour that once trapped you now sets you free. Stand, breathe, rise. And as you rise, the hollow becomes a part of you. Not behind you, not beneath you, but within you. A constant reminder that emptiness can hold truth, that silence can hold courage, and that the darkest hours can forge the strongest selves. The crown was never the point. The fall was never the end. The hollow hour was always the beginning. And now you are ready. Ready to face the world without mask, without expectation, without pretense. With the raw, unwavering knowledge that you endured, that you learned, that you rose. The hollow hour, it rises with you. And in that rising, you are infinite.